a hotel or something?
Why not?
I'd love to. Yeah. But
I've only been Manchester twice. I've only been Manchester twice in my life.
Manchester's becoming the new London. That's what I'm hearing in terms of property.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. People saying that. Yeah, yeah. I've been there a lot of that. Yeah.
Whereabouts in London are you based?
I'm from Islington. I'm not sure
okay.
if you know. Yeah, if you know Islington, yeah, it's
A little bit. I've got a
West
few
End.
friends down there, so.
Right.
Yeah, man, London seems to be going off like it's like the epicenter, you know, because I'm in Buenos Aires at the moment, and I've been in Brazil, just hanging out because it's a cheap place to live, you know. I've looked at going to London or other places, but like to get my own unit, like my own place, it's a lot more expensive on Airbnb, you know.
Yeah.
London's expensive. Ridiculous.
Yeah. Especially in Buenos Aires, it's so good just to like, you know, like the same day there's so much, it's so deep, the Airbnb market, like there's like 17 million people here, like it's so liquid, the amount of listings that are available is amazing, you know, and so many people are really desperate for cash.
Right.
Yeah.
That's interesting, you know.
They're having some problems over there with inflation at the minute, I heard.
Absolutely. Yeah. So
Mm.
everything's just getting so much cheaper for me.
Not bad, eh?
It's funny how you find it that way. It's getting so cheaper for you over there because you've got it worked out. You've worked it out. You've got it sus. But I ain't got a clue yet. I'm trying to get it, like what, you know, something similar to what you're doing. I'm trying to learn it so I can work off it. But it's not, so far it's not easy yet, but I got a lot of training to do. So I'm on the training.
I think the main thing that helps is kind of like surrounding yourself with like-minded people and just kind of have it's that thought in your head about, like, you know, is it possible? Like, is it actually like something that you can do? Like, you know, you have to believe it before you do it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It's like The Secret. You know, have you guys know about like The Secret, the law of attraction?
I'm aware of it. Yeah, I know what it is.
Yeah.
Like
the courses that I did back, like, you know, when I started learning in like 2003, I guess, is when I started learning like on the path that you guys are just starting now. And that's mainly what it's all about, you know. It was just like about the mindset, you know. I just listened to stuff on repeat from mentors, just like in my car while I was driving to work, just listening to the same message again and again, like, yeah, I can get financial freedom, like, you know, I can do it, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, like strategy is just like 20% of it, you know.
Yeah.
And the strategies are so good now, like, you know, you've got so much opportunity with the internet that it's unbelievable. There's no better opportunity to make money and travel the world, kind of thing, you know.
Yeah.
I just need one chance. I think one chance at it, one, you know, my first breakthrough, I think I'll be all right. It's just need to get the client and, you know, and go through it all that one time. And once I do it that one time, I think I'll be okay. It's just doing it at the time, you know, right now. And there's all questions going through my head about this and that. So I've been seeing some of your videos, what you're saying about the people who's staying in the place and the property, and they, you know, you don't want them disrespecting the house and breaking up the house. You got to make sure you got the right, you know, to show respect to the owner who owns the place and stuff like that. So it's all that I'm worried about going through my head, but it's just getting them in first, and then, you know, once I got them through and staying at the place, then I know that, yeah, I've cracked one, then I can crack another. It's just doing it though, you know.
Do you have a place to get started with, either of you guys? Like, I mean, you do have a place to get started with. I know that.
Not yet. I know a few places where I can go to, and just like let me just hit here where I see like, oh, well, there's a few places where I can just work off, but not my place exactly.
You're falling down a bit, like you're like.
Oh yeah, well, I'm leaning on the seat. So I was leaning over, relaxing. So is that better?
Yeah, bro. Oh, you can stay down relaxing, but you're just like.
Yeah. I was relaxing because the phone is like I'm holding it and moving up and down, so I'm trying to, plan it, which is better for you guys. If I pull it up like that, hold on. Is that better?
Yeah, bro.
All right.
Yeah.
So some standalone, like you have contacted, like, are you like a vacant place, like somebody with a spare room or something, dude? Sorry.
Well, I didn't really want to. There's a few people I know, but I'm looking to go through down like, let's say you go down to maybe someone like Regent Street and places like that. There's some open, but I wouldn't say I haven't got not one person to say, all right, I got this vacancy for you at this place yet. So I'm doing this all on my own from scratch.
Yeah.
So really, yeah.
So have you guys used Airbnb yet? Stayed?
No. I'm new. I'm completely brand new.
And
I've used it. Yeah, I've done some traveling for 3 months with my fiance over winter. So like December, January, February, and we were in. We used Airbnb and basically booked our way all the way across the the travels. So we were in Singapore, Australia, Thailand, and Cambodia. So yeah, it was like it was a good time. So it wasn't so long ago, but yeah, on a buyer's side of things, yeah, or like a tenant's perspective of Airbnb, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because that really helps with having a perspective on how it works, especially with the review process. Like, there's like 5 criteria that you get marked on, like really heavily. It really affects like your revenue. Which So I as an advanced thing, I definitely recommend going and staying in some Airbnbs, but you've already got a little bit of that experience. And that's how I mainly suggest doing your market research, like in your area, is to just like there's airdna.com, which collates a lot of the stuff off Airbnb, all the statistics, but I recommend going into Airbnb and just looking at the calendar, just looking at listings, seeing what's available tonight and tomorrow night and how much they are. Well,
that's the AirDNA, is it? The AirDNA one you're talking about?
Yeah, that's good. Like if you're rolling around doors, like knocking doors, trying to like walking into real estate agent offices or something like that, and saying, hey, if you've got any short-term rental properties, I'm looking to, I'm a property. I've got a house sharing management company, like a corporate leasing company or something like that, is what I'm thinking you're looking at doing.
Yes,
and it's
exactly.
That's a good way of doing it. Like you don't even set up your own listing. Like, like I don't recommend buying a house to do short-term rentals in if you've never even like used the app on Airbnb before, like how I kind of did it. And I think I think quite simply what I would like to say is I have rented out my room on Airbnb, and with that money that I get from that 1 bedroom that I was staying at in Auckland, I'm in Buenos Aires, I've got an apartment, and I've got extra cash left over to spend on food, And that's from like one listing, but I've actually got like 10 listings, and I've got other properties that I don't do Airbnb with. But, like just basically, really simply, like you can just rent out your bedroom where you're staying and go stay somewhere else if you get a guest, Or how it started was Airbnb, Air Bed and Breakfast. It was just an airbed on the floor, like, during a sports event. Like, you know, if there's like a big boxing match in town, or all the hotels are selling out, you know,
Yeah.
for that one weekend or that one night, just chuck an Airbnb on your floor or chuck your couch on Airbnb, you know?
Yeah,
Do you think that?
Yeah, just to start. And
Do you
like
think
all the
that would,
hotels are like tripling their prices. You don't have to triple your price. You can just chuck it on there for like $10 or $16. I think's the minimum. Not sure what it is in London, but you know, like you can just start.
Yeah.
do you think that would,
as I'd say in
do you think that would
Spanish.
still work in today's Airbnb market?
What do you mean? Like just putting your couch on Airbnb? Like,
Yeah,
totally.
yeah. Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's the cheapest. Like it's the cheapest thing. The one thing that I do have to say about London is like restrictions. You know, there's lots of restrictions coming in cities all over the world, and London is definitely one of the first that got major restrictions. But I think your restriction there is around 90 days, so you can only Airbnb for 90 days of the year, officially. You know, but I've also seen I've spoken to lots of people, and they just, you know, like it's an honesty policy. But yeah, you're definitely okay to, and in a lot of the restrictions in other countries like Canada, they go around. You can only Airbnb, like you can only have one Airbnb listing, and it can only be like a room in your house, or it can only be your house while you go away on a holiday. You can't do it for like, you know, you can't have multiple listings. Yeah. But definitely like your own couch, like that's like, you know, that's what it's all about. Totally. You know, it's about community. The most unique thing about Airbnb is that it's unique over a hotel. So, you know, it's about that community. It's about that personality in the listing, which really differentiates your listing apart from other listings, you know, is having that uniqueness to it.
Yeah. I mean, I was kind of thinking more down the line, maybe rightly or wrongly, I don't know, but maybe like getting hold of a small house and converting that into something like an Airbnb or what we call a HMO, which is like house with multiple occupancy.
Yeah, totally. That's what it's all about. And Airbnb is just a tool just to kind of get a higher revenue over that traditional kind of tenant, you know?
Yeah.
And also a way to automate it. So I've been doing like HMOs for like 15 years, right? And only just recently I've started traveling. Like Airbnb started doing that 5 years ago, and just like 4 years ago I started traveling, because the main thing was about like if one of your tenants move out, which I had a tenant moving out like all the time, you have to kind of be there to get a new tenant in, man, you know, to get somebody, especially if it's like an HMO, like it's a community, you know, they need to match. You like need to interview people.
Yeah.
All right.
And the way I would do it, I would just like, yeah, I mean, I've interviewed a lot of people for rooms, you know, over 15 years. And how I was doing it in the end before Airbnb, I was just having a party, man. I was just like putting beers on for everybody. Yeah, totally. So I was seeing how they would interact, you know,
Yeah.
who are these people like? And the people that, you know, like the people that stay and sat down and got the time to get to know everybody that lived in the house. It's like, yeah, bro, when are you moving in? You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
After you finish your beer, it's like, yep, like the room's yours, bro.
Yeah.
But
That's
with
a lot of work.
Airbnb, that's just automated it, you know. And the next biggest problem that I had was collecting rent from people. You know, it's like it's kind of hard to ask. Well, the hardest thing is knowing that they haven't paid, because you've got to check, you know, which for me, like quite negligent in the finance point of view, because, you know, I'm not worried about money. I just make enough money and it's all cool. It's just coming in, you know, wake up and there's more there. But yeah, it just automated it, you know, collecting the money, You get the money the next night, you know. So if they stay the night, you get paid the next day, and it's easy, yeah.
So before Airbnb, you know, you used to have problems of getting the rent before the Airbnb come out.
Oh, totally. Like that's kind of the main horror story, is a landlord going, my tenant owes me money, right? If not damaging the property. And that would be the other thing with like HMO. You get long-term tenants and they've got luggage. I mean, not just luggage, they've actually got stuff, you know, like when they leave heaps of rubbish behind.
Yeah.
Whereas an Airbnb guest, they only clean out their bags. If they've been in the country for a year, they've compiled a lot of junk, especially if they're traveling, and they'll just leave all their camping gear at your house, you know.
So it definitely has.
I've had people leave their camper van at my house. So I've gotten like a free camper van. Because they just needed to leave, you know, they had no time to sell it. They're like, we're gone. More so, because I was just like, I don't want anything to do with it. And then in the end, they like, you know, they left the keys with somebody, and then eventually nothing got done with it because the person they left the keys with didn't sell it. But more recently, I offer to buy the camper van off my guests, you know, just at like at a rate where I could get it for scrap, you know. If I called up a scrap guy, he would just scrap it. I'll buy it at that rate because I know in 6 months' time, because you have seasons as well, right? So like in summertime, you'll have people, like a lot more short-term people, because they're just traveling, they're just there for a couple of months. And then wintertime, you'll have people that are arriving that are on a year's working holiday visa, and they're looking for a job, they're looking for an apartment, you know. So you get a different thing. And a thing that I noticed the last few years as well is the seasonality of camper vans and cars. Like, you know, there's a huge arbitrage to make just in that, you know. Buying a car in wintertime, holding on to it for 6 months, and then selling it in summertime. Makes thousands of dollars easy with doing nothing.
Is that for like travelers, I take it, or who travel around?
Yeah, in New Zealand, you know, kind of thing. Like, yeah, people just buy, you know, they'll stay in your Airbnb when they first arrive to look for a camper van, then they'll live in their camper van.
Yeah.
It's the way the kind of most budget travelers do it, you know?
Yeah. So I take it that you see the benefits in the Airbnb model compared to traditional models, then? Is that why you stuck with, is that what you solely stick with, an Airbnb model where your marketing's looked after?
Yeah, man, totally. As you know, I started with Airbnb, just like my couch or whatever, and then, you know, as soon as I could kick flatmates out, I Airbnb'd out their rooms. Because it was so good, you know. It's just so much easier. Like, you're not a big thing, like you're not even, like, especially if you're living in the house, you're not stuck with somebody, you know. Like my mum, I got my mum to start Airbnbing out, you know, because she was having problems with the long-term tenants, because you know, you're stuck with them, and it's hard to kick people out as well, just as well as it's hard to ask for money off people if they're late behind rent, and not have a fight with them or something, you know, or like lose a friendship. Yeah. So, you know.
So you can't be friends.
Sorry?
You can't be friends. You can't be friends with your tenants then, because it seems like that if you're friends with them,
you have to be friends with them. That's what it's all about. But if they're 6 weeks behind in rent and you just noticed, your feelings, you know, you can get a bit emotional about, hey man, where's your 6 weeks rent? What's going on? Like, you know, like.
But that's what I mean.
I don't owe you any rent. Oh, I'm leaving now, or, you know, lots of crazy stuff.
That's the thing. Friends can do that. You know, you trust friends, and when you trust, but someone you don't know, it's just business still, isn't it? So it's just straight. You just like going straight. It's just no, you know, avoid a friend, and, you know, I trust him and he takes liberties. Without a friend, you're just like, all right, pay me up.
I like you good. Is not just, it's, but that's a big thing a difference, a big thing about HMO and short-term rentals is your business is not a property business. You are not in the business of property. You're in the business of people.
Wow.
That was a big thing for me. I was like, I thought I was a property dude. It's like, no, fuck. With Airbnb, I'm not even a property person. I have to be a people person. And I kind of even got burnt out by people, you know, like not kind of. I extremely got burnt out by hosting people and having guests. Like, you know, somebody asking me where the supermarket was, I was like, fuck, or like, you know, I've had this conversation 10 times already today. Like,
you're gonna have to deal with all that. So that's something you can't avoid. You can't avoid that, can you? That's something you have to always deal with.
Absolutely. I'm not even, I like with Airbnb, totally. And I mean, you can also even, like, yeah, absolutely, you avoid that absolutely now. And that's a big thing that I see with hosts. Well, there's a couple of things that I see with hosts, how they could improve. But I think the main thing is to have like a self check-in, you know, like have a lockbox just with a code and your key, so you don't have to be there, you know, like you're not selling your time, you're just selling the result, which is a habitation, a habitat for somebody for a night or whatever. And yeah.
What about agreements? I was hearing someone was saying on a video, when you rent a place out, you have a tenant you stay, you can sign an agreement with him that you get 50-50. Is it like, or you know, you can price up whatever to stay in the place, like so you both get with land,
Yeah, totally, man. You can work whatever you want with the landlord, and that's kind of what I was talking about with the real estate agents and stuff, you know, like talking with them, trying to network with them, because they're really good people to network with if you're into property, you know.
So wouldn't you have to sign a contract for that? Because, you know, your word, you know, his word or handshake, oh yeah, all right, we agree on this, and then, you know, later on he said he didn't, you know. So don't you need a lawyer or somebody who, you know, it's written down that, you know, this happened and he said this? And
oh yeah, like if you're doing a deal, like it's always good to have things written down, absolutely, like an email, or just write it down on a napkin. And if you don't have, and if somebody like gives you a contract, like if you like with the tenancy agreement, just anything that's written in pen overwrites anything that's written in the pre-printed contract. So if you're like, you know, I can do da 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 da, and the both of you sign it,
right,
it stands. But I mean, a contract is only as good as the word of the person that you had it with.
Yeah. Okay.
Really, yeah. Especially, well, maybe not so much in the UK. Like maybe you've got more of a better judicial system, but in other countries, totally, man. Like in America, you just pay your lawyer, you do whatever you want.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so I'm sure we'll leave one over here.
It's who has the most money, you know? You just put it off, you know?
Yeah. Jamie, can I ask you, let's say, for example, that you then don't own a property, right? And you're trying to source a property to take on short-term rental through an estate agent, and you want to use that as an Airbnb property to rent out of the Airbnb. What would you say are like some key factors to almost guarantee you've not got void periods in that rental?
Low price.
Low price, yeah.
Totally. Okay. That's the main factor, you know. And then that's a big thing that, like in a downturn, you know, like if there's a property crash, you don't want to, like it's better to have a lot of units, like a lot of cheap units, than one expensive mansion, because like the people that have expensive mansions, like they can't move. You know, they've got no liquidity. Nobody can afford to buy an expensive mansion. Like everybody can always afford to pay somewhere cheap, and that's a really good thing about like global financial crises and stuff. People always need somewhere to live. You know.
Yeah.
So, and especially if you've got an affordable property and it's cheap, you're gonna have occupancy.
Yeah. So what would you lower prices on Airbnb for a longer term guarantee in rent, if that makes sense, from one person?
I offer a 40% discount for 30 days or more.
Right. Okay. Now I'm getting where you're coming from. Yeah.
Yeah. And I will offer my Airbnb at a loss just because something's better than nothing. You know,
Yeah.
better than having it vacant. It's better to be rented out at a loss for that night than to get nothing at all.
That's what I mean. Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, my vacancy rates are up high because.
And how many out of interest? How many units or beds or locations are you managing at the minute?
Mainly just like one house, bro. Just one really big house. And
Right.
so I've like split it up into 10 listings, and it's in Auckland, a really good area. And it's cheap. Like, you know, it's affordable budget kind of backpacker styles, you know. Like even it's got like it's a big house. It's got 2 lounges. So one of the lounges I put bunk beds in it, and you know, just rent it out by the night.
Yeah.
Super cheap.
See, the cogs are turning with trying to find a location, you know. And
but
nice. Wow. Need to get something like that in London.
Manchester.
Oh yeah, totally. That's the cut out kind of backpacker place. Absolutely, yeah. I've heard of like 10 people and like squatters and stuff like that. You have squatters' rights there, yeah. So that's something to be really careful, right? If you have a tenant for over 30 days and you don't have a contract with them, I think they become a legal tenant, and you actually have to go through the judicial system of getting them kicked out and stuff. Yeah? Is that how it applies in London?
Same thing. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think it's something like that. Something close to
squatters' rights. We can't kick people out.
After certain, there is a you're close to around about. I don't know exactly, but I've heard and what you're getting at, something like that. I don't know the exact point.
That would be really interesting to know the exact. We need to find out.
Yeah.
I'll get back to you guys on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, squatters have some rights. Yeah, I don't know what the rights are, but they're rights. Yeah, I remember.
I'll talk to some people and get the down low.
That's the thing. Yeah. Interesting.
So yeah, you're asking to guarantee occupancy rates. Yeah, a low rate.
Right.
And other than that, I mean, yeah, there's lots of tricks. Like if you get some bad reviews on your listing, create a new listing. You know.
Yeah.
That can help. Like if your listing's at like 3 stars, just make a new listing and take that listing offline.
What about the tenants you get when they move in? Are they checked out on their record, or if they're good tenants, or do you you don't get anyone in who move in? Do you get someone so you check them out, you know, how they are, how they live, and if they got a bad...
Yeah, totally. You can choose people that have had positive reviews that can only book your listing, which is, I guess, what you're talking about. And people do have reviews. So, yeah, like you can go in and, so you can have instant book, or you can have pre-approved. So you can have to, you can ask people questions before you accept them, or they can turn up and you don't even know that booked.
Yeah.
You know?
Hmm.
You can automate it, or you can have it really unautomated. It's good. And yeah, I mean, there's a whole bunch of other things to help, you know, with your occupancy rate. Absolutely. But yeah.
As daft as this may sound to you, I've just randomly stumbled across you on a property group in the UK, and I wasn't even aware that this was a business model or a way to make money. I thought people just listed their own house if they were on holiday, or if they had like an annex flat on their grounds, they just rented that. I thought that's what Airbnb was all about.
Yeah,
So,
well, that's
really
the
interesting.
cool thing about it now, is man, you don't even have to own a property. You can just do the rental arbitrage, just rent to rent, or just be a host, like just be a co-host, you know. That's the kind of thing with the real estate agents thing that you're talking about with the 50% cut is, and one thing that I find really interesting, or I'd like to do since I heard about it, is with real estate agents that are doing open homes, like, you know, the house is fully furnished and everything, and they're only doing open homes on the weekend, is to do like a deal with them to be like, hey, can I rent this out Monday to Friday, and I'll have it professionally cleaned before you open home on the weekend, you know?
Just do a quick turnaround on making some cash flow for the 5 days.
Why not? I reckon that would be a sweet deal.
Clever.
And you've already got like all the professional photos and everything, so you can like even, you know, you can start the Airbnb listing up before you have access, before you've even viewed the property, you know, and start looking for short-term guests.
Yeah, that's it. Short-term guests. That's the one. You said short-term guests. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah.
My mind's just like, no, like you've opened up a new, I don't know. Pathway,
I'm like, stream.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, I hope so. Please, yeah.
All the training you're doing, I'm happy for the training you're showing us and the videos you're doing. It's all great help. So, you know, like I've only been on this for about, I think 4 days. 4 days. Cool. I joined one training program about it, and I've met up with you. So now I've got your knowledge as well. So I'm picking up your knowledge and everything you're telling me, and plus your videos that I got from Brian, Tyler Lopez, the rest of them. So I'm just taking everything and trying to take it in and seeing what they got and put it all together, and then you see what happens. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, we'll keep in touch, please.
That's it, man. Yeah, it's only about the third day for me or something. So yeah.
I'm similar.
Sorry.
Similar. I'm saying I'm similar to you. I joined a property group. I've not took their training or anything, and then seen one of Jamie's videos, and then that was like 4 or 5 days ago, maybe. I think I contacted you, Jamie, at like 12 o'clock at night. Like, what's going on? You know, what are you doing?
The thing about it, so relax. You're really relaxed. You're relaxed. You're really calm. But you must have went through some hell because, you know, with tenants, the tenants are not getting your money. I don't know. With me and the type of person I want to get my money. Well, I would have gone through some hell. Yeah, you've got experience. I can see that you've been through it all. So now you're relaxed. You don't have to do too much work, which is a good thing.
He's relaxed because he's chilling in Buenos Aires and everything's automated. What he's doing.
Wow.
So,
that's
a life.
Well, look, I'm going away next year to Dominican Republic. Career-wise, I'm trying to finish off the career what I got with boxing. So now I'm over there. So like I don't speak Spanish, my coach does English. So I'm trying to network over there too. So I really want to, you know, so that would be good in DR, Dominican Republic, and I want to see how it works out there. So
I just remembered I think there's 2 points that I didn't finish off. I started and we got sidetracked. So with the AirDNA thing, you can buy a monthly report, and they will give you heaps of and I just recommend buy 1 month for your area, and that will give you a really good kind of portfolio, something to go and talk to these agents with and stuff, and be like, look, this is what we can do,
Wow.
Or look, like a flip file, what do they call it? A pitch deck, like it can be a part of your pitch deck. And once you get reviews from Airbnb, you can show them your reviews, show them your experience and your 5-star reviews that you've had, stuff like that. And then that brings me to my second point, where I was talking about setting up Airbnbs here, which I think I could do. But, the economies like that, and for the amount of work, for setting up one Airbnb, the profit margin compared to setting it up in Auckland or possibly London or, one of these, let's say like a higher echelon kind of profit margin place, like there's way more fat in one deal, like it's much more better if I was to go home and set up one deal than set up one here, or 3 or something like that. But also, I think I should set 3 or 5 or 10 up here, because I can, and it's like I semi feeling like I have an obligation to do it, because I can create another stream of income in this country, and it can be it can be a stream of income for my friends that I've met here. If they come into a financial difficulty, they can be my cleaner instead of some random person being my cleaner, and let alone they can have that income kind of thing. I could just give them those listings and be like, hey, look, you can manage these for me, right? And that would sustain their income, because everybody's freaking out here, about because everything's becoming more expensive. They're not getting paid anything more from their job, and I believe the population of homeless people here is the same population as my entire country. 4 million homeless people in Buenos Aires.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
so I've seen a lot as well. Being here was the first time I saw young families that are homeless on the street and the train station with babies and stuff like that. It was really there's a third point that I wanted to talk about. I had a mentor when I was 14, and he showed me about property and taught me to be really ambitious about goal setting and fitness and stuff like that. So yeah, I want to give back. It really helped me out and changed. Just having meeting, having a circle of people that we're empowering instead of it just really helps. Making friends with people that are going in that direction.
Yeah. Fair play.
That was good.
But yeah, I'll keep in touch. Keep me updated with the progress.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'm still on it. It's day to day. It's gonna take a little while, because I'm on a program. So I got 30 days. I think one program on 30 days. I want a load of videos. You want to get off now from you? I just come back from work. So now back from work, I can go on to this now and watch the rest of the videos, soak it in, sleep, go work tomorrow, wake up, do the same thing. So I've got to do this until I'm finished.
For your effort or your time value ratio, I would recommend more sending out 10 emails or try and contact 10 listings to be like, hey, can we do this deal? I've got a
right now. Right now.
Yeah, get a little bit of practice in. It's not about watching videos. It's about taking action.
Yeah.
Right.
Or list your bedroom on Airbnb or friends. Hit up 10 friends and be like, do you have a spare room? A lot of people, they have a spare room or a spare grandma flat or or in the
I
Facebook
probably wouldn't have
groups.
to share with them though. They were like, all right, well, they will probably want a 50-50 cut. I guarantee.
Totally. But you only have to do it like once or twice just to get experience, you know? You don't have
Yeah,
to
so
keep
do
doing it.
50-50. So do 50-50
Yeah,
with them.
especially for you, like you've got no experience with Airbnb, so like just try hosting out or go and stay in an experience, or go look on Airbnb at the listings in your area, how much they are, the kind of quality, what they offer.
So I just go into Airbnb, just go into their website and just sign up with them. Simple like that. Sign up with them. I see it on the lot. I got the app.
I can send you a link as well, so I can give you credit, so you can get up to $600 off your first booking when you book, or as well if you're a host, or especially if you host, I will get paid like $200. I know the price keeps going down. I used to get paid $400 when you hosted your first person, but now I think it's $200. But yeah, and I think you get some kind of bonus as well, other than me coaching you and helping.
So as soon as I get a room, what you're saying, so I'll make sure I got to get it all clear. As soon as I get a room, I call Airbnb and let them know what's up. I do it that way. No, not. Oh.
Call me.
Oh.
But take some photos, and chuck them on it. You put them on the app, make a nice description and publish it.
And say, all right, okay. I kind of, yeah. All right.
But
I should be going doing that now.
Photos is the next key over pricing, is having a lot of photos so people know what this gonna be dealing with,
Yeah.
when they turn up. So try and have extra lighting, try and make it nice, try and stage it, and have extra photos of little features of the neighborhood, stuff like that, Yeah.
So once I get a place to rent, do I have to tell the tenant that I'm gonna put it on Airbnb, or I have to do that? Yeah, I can't just I want to rent the place out. I want to be a tenant, then I have to go and say, look, all right, let me put it through Airbnb.
With a landlord or a tenant, like if you're putting Airbnb where people are already in the house, I don't know, like you definitely.
A room, if someone's like, I got a room to rent out.
Oh yeah, if your friend if your friend's looking for a flatmate, and you can be like, hey, look, we could, or your mum or something like that. Yeah, like with my mum, Yeah, totally. And you can have them be a co-host so they can see the messaging and everything like that, So you can both interact with the guest on the app.
Right. Gotcha.
Yeah. And you just both get experience, You can both start just to get you started.
Yeah.
Do that. All right. Thank you.
Oh, sorry. I was going to ask a quick question before you go, Jamie. What is the first thing that you would try to automate?
The check-in process. So I'd put a lockbox on the door, so you don't have to meet them. You can just be like, this is the code.
Yeah, that's not eating into your time then, right?
Yeah, totally. Like if I'm looking at a property, I'm looking at, can I do a lockbox? Is there somebody here that's like 24 hours that I can leave the key with? Like a shop that's local, like a local 24-hour shop, and they can do my check-in process. The guests can just go to the shop, pick up the key, and then go to the unit, something like that. I'm looking at that. That's the first thing I'm looking at. Yeah.
Are there any courses or books on, with like your knowledge, or is that something that you're looking at doing, like creating? Content?
Yeah, I haven't yet, and that's what I'm trying to do now. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just Spotify or my YouTube. I guess my YouTube or my Facebook or my Instagram. That's got my most of my stuff on there.
Right. See.
And and I'd really appreciate the likes and the comments, and that'd be awesome.
Yeah, cool. Appreciate your time and your advice. Anyway, it's nice to speak to you.
You're welcome, bro. It's cool. It's very cool to have the chat. and looking forward to another one soon.
Yeah, cool. Defo.
Catch you soon, boys.
Thanks a lot. Bye.
Ciao.